Hello and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, hi, hey, hello, how's it going? My name is Meg and we do crafty things here. So if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing if you like doing crafty things too. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in to another video and subscribing, obviously. So today, we are not doing a tutorial. No, my friends. We are not answering your burning questions. Not doing that either. Today, we are doing a highly requested, long anticipated bracelet collection video. I've put this off for a long time. And I've put this off for a long time because over the years, I have sold bracelets. Sorry, I just like wiped the table down. There's still kind of moisture there. Now you can see my handprints. I have sold bracelets, like I currently do. So I have sold bracelets. I have given away tons of bracelets. I have worn tons of my bracelets. My collection isn't that big. You would think for someone who's been tying for 14 years that my collection would be big. But to be honest, I never really collected the bracelets I made. I either wore them, gave them away, or sold them. And that was pretty much it, except for like a small handful of bracelets or whatever. So we're gonna work our way through this in different stages. I have everything set out into 4 different groups, and we'll go through the first group first because it's going to be very noticeable. And this is worn bracelets. So we'll start with what is on my arm. Right now I have a simple Chinese staircase with my lucky turtle charm on it. This charm, I don't think it brings me luck. That's not why it's lucky. This charm came on a silver necklace and the necklace broke. And somehow I found the little turtle charm. So then I made another bracelet and put the turtle charm on it and wore it until the bracelet broke. And somehow I found the turtle charm again. And then I made an anklet and put it onto an anklet, and the anklet broke at work or somewhere else, and I somehow found the charm again. So every bracelet I put this on, or keychain, or anything I put this on, it always comes back to me. So I call it my lucky turtle, and every year I put it on at least one bracelet or anklet or something, and I always seem to find it again. So it's a little bit scratched, it's a little bit rough around the edges, but that is that bracelet there. Then I have my Slytherin Pride bracelet, which you guys have seen in an earlier wrap up. And then this Diamonds and Chevrons pattern, gradient reds. The ties on this are kind of garbage. That's why it went on my wrist, because I wouldn't sell it like that or anything. So, and then I have this little Kumihimo, just black and neons. It's kind of stretched out and old now, so you can't really, well, it's not really old, but it's just kind of stretched out, so you can't really tell that the pattern was kind of just I don't know how to, like, stair pattern almost. Then I have this two-tone yellow and two-tone green chevron, and what you guys have also, you've seen all of these in a wrap up except for this one. This is an older bracelet, I think from like last year. This might have even been the bracelet I made for my chevron tutorial on this channel, but I found it and I hadn't cut it off. So I was like, cool, I'll put that back on. So that is what is on my wrist. Now, most of my bracelets, if I wear them, eventually I cut them off. I don't untie them, I cut them off, and I cut my losses and throw them in the garbage. So there's a lot of really big bracelets that I've made and stuff that I hold on to for a while, and then I'm just like, why am I holding on to this? I'm never gonna wear it again. What am I doing with it? And I throw it out. That will anger a lot of you because some of them were like, 45 strings wide or whatever, but that's a thing I do. So I only have a small amount of bracelets here that have been worn because I know people like to see those in bracelet collection videos too. So here we go. And I do have some worn ones still around somewhere. I just haven't found them since moving. So this is one, you guys would have seen this in a wrap up, but my boyfriend wore this and it's pretty soft now. It wasn't worn for a long time. I think he wore it for like a month because my boyfriend doesn't like bracelets. So he complained about it the whole time he wore it. Rude, right? I know. But this was like a twisted diamond into chevron pattern in Rasta colors. Then I have this one, which I made, when did I make this? When I first moved out here. So this is about 5 years old, and I'd untied it because I wasn't, instead of cutting it off, because I wasn't sure about it. I wore it for a short period of time, and up close you see that it's just kind of little, I don't know, shapes, like doodles almost. But one of my coworkers saw me wearing it, and from a distance she said it kind of looked like swastikas. So I took it off, and I just never really asked anyone about it, because I was like, when I'm wearing it, I'm like, it doesn't look like swastikas. Like, what are you talking about? But then, like, low-key, once she said it, I can't, I can kind of see it. So I just took it off and tucked it away, because I'd worn it for like 2 days, and I was like, I feel like I put too much work in it to just throw it out. So what do you guys think? Should I wear it again, or just leave it in the dark to not be seen? Let me know. And then this one is a old Fishbone Chevron. It is quite stretched out at this point, and it was done with thin string. But it's purple, yellow, green, and blue. Nothing too fancy about that. And then you probably recognize this one again from an earlier wrap-up. Oh, it's not really focusing, is it? There. It's a Kumihimo pattern, and it was originally like sunflowers or something, but I changed all the colors to be little cherry blossoms. And I think it looks really cute, but I took it off because my baby was still really pukey at the time, and it was getting puked on a lot. And this is like a little diamonds and chevrons bracelet in like some primary colors with gray added in there. It's bold, it's nice, it's not really my personal like color choice to wear, but I do think it turned out nice. Okay, so that is all the worn bracelets in my collection. Next we'll go into normal bracelets, and there is a lot of them here. So we'll start with, I don't know, I'm just gonna lucky dip it. I have literally a whole pile here. So we're just gonna lucky dip. So these aren't gonna be in like the order they were made or anything. Some of them you guys will have seen. So this is the diamonds and candy stripe bracelet that I made a tutorial on my channel for. This is a bracelet I made in that tutorial. So you guys have seen that one before. This one, I believe this was for one of the monthly bracelet book challenges like years ago. I want to say like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And I feel like I either was scraping the bottom of my string selection, or I just used the colors that were in the pattern. And it's kind of laid back, chill. I don't know that it'd be a color palette I would wear, but it does have finished loop, and it does have buckle ties on it and triangle ends and beginnings. Let's see what we got here next. You guys have seen this in a wrap up as well. This is one of my favorite bracelets. It is for sale on my Etsy shop too. And it's just green, turquoise, white, and black. And I don't know what it is about this. I don't know whether it's the color combo or the pattern or both, but I love this bracelet. I think it looks really, really good. And what do we got here next? Okay, this is the twin to the bracelet I have on my wrist, that red and orange one. I made the red and orange one. That was the first bracelet I made taped down again, and then I made this one with a safety pin, and this one at the time had turned out much straighter, and I do really like the colors on this. It's pale pink, pale green, and then blue, a darker pink, and I just think it turned out really, really cute. I'll try and link all the patterns in the description for you guys so you guys can find them. This one, I used the colors as close as I could because I think it was neons in the actual pattern, if I remember it correctly. And again, this is 4 or 5 years old. It has finished loops and buckle ties. And it even has triangle start and ends. I don't do that a lot because I find it boring. But what I mean by buckle ties is if you take the bracelet and you push the knot in towards your wrist if you're wearing it, like that, and push the knot up through this loop at the bottom of the bracelet, the knot is big enough to hold it in place on your wrist. So it's removable. I don't do it a lot though because it takes a lot of time and a lot of string and it's annoying. I like to just make the bracelet part. Okay, what do we got here? This is one that I definitely did for a bracelet book challenge. And again, I think I used the colors or as close as I had to the colors in the pattern. And again, this was made around the same time as these two. And so you could tell that I was really going for, I wanted everything to be like finished and clean. And then I got sick of it. So this has finished loops, triangle starts, triangle ends, and the buckle closure as well. And yeah. Lucky dip again here. Okay, this is just a little basic one. This was the first bracelet that I ever carried strings on. You can see I carried the strings in the little X's and in the little diamonds, but just the amount of hassle it was to try and get everything to line up properly, I don't really think it was worth it. And I've since tried carrying strings again, which you guys will see here at some point, and I just don't really, I don't think the aesthetic is worth it for me. I don't know. I'll probably try again if I find another pattern that looks kind of cool, but until that time, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but everyone likes different things. So this is a Fishbone Chevron. I love the colors in this. It's like a gradient blue with a dark purple and a white in there, and it is not focusing. There we go. And you guys would recognize this from a earlier wrap up. What else have I got here? Okay, we got another Fishbone Chevron. It's blues, orange, yellow, gray. And I think this is really cute. I actually really like these colors. It's just really like contrasting, and I don't know. I do really like it, so. There we are. Nothing super exciting about that though. This is recent. I think this would have been in the last wrap up for August. And it's just the little X's and dots. And this is the other version of the Rasta one I showed you guys earlier that my boyfriend had been wearing. And I used some neon strings in it. And this is one of the few times with the neon strings from that pack, with all strings from that pack, that I was happy with how this actually turned out. I think the colors actually looked really good. But that pack of string was so weird. I might do like a string review video at some point, reviewing just all kinds of different strings. So if you guys want to see that, let me know down below. But this pack of string just had really weird tones, and it's been very hard to make color selections that work from it. So I don't know. I was happy with how that turned out. This is another older one, and I definitely chose the colors right out of the pattern for this. And again, from that same time period as like these ones, it has the finished loop, triangle starts. It almost looks like awareness ribbons, and I don't know if that's like what it's supposed to be. But it is pretty cute. Triangle ends, buckle, ties. I don't know, to me, I think I maybe should have used not a pale yellow, but a different color, because I think it's kind of overwhelmingly yellowy green to me. And I think it's just that light yellow looks kind of weird to me. I don't know. Here we have another Fishbone Chevron in like pinks, purples, and peaches. And I think I'd pulled these colors off of like Color Lovers, and it was not colors I maybe would have chose on my own, but I think it looks pretty cute. So not complaining about that. And here's a bracelet, again, where I carried string. Now, I don't know if I had curved the strings here more, if it would have looked better. But again, I just found it more hassle to try and line all the knots up than it was worth. Did it turn out okay? Yes, but I don't think it looks any different than if I had done it as just a plain candy stripe. So maybe if I had curled the string a little more, it would have looked a bit better. Let's see, this is from a previous wrap up as well. This is just a zigzag candy stripe bracelet. I do like the colors in this, two-tone green, white, and then a dark navy blue. Don't think you can go wrong with that. This one, I love the colors of this. It's like beige, 3 tones of blue, and an orange, and I just really like how this turned out. This I'm not particularly a fan of, but I had tried Alex's Innovations rag rug style pattern, and I don't know if I'd have made it wider if it would have looked better, but I didn't like the look of it. I think it looks really messy and not good. And like I said, if it was wider, maybe it would have looked better because the knots wouldn't have been so close together. But I thought I'd give it a go, and I just don't really like how it turned out. What else have we got here? Okay, here is the other diamonds and candy stripe bracelet that I made first and then decided to make a tutorial on it for this one down at the end. I do like the colors, but again, you can kind of see like that green just looks kind of odd in there. I don't know. In person, it doesn't look as reflecty as it does on the camera. The camera doesn't really pick up neons well, I've found. Okay, we have another Fishbone Chevron. This one is kind of Eastery colors. Blue, pink, purple, yellow, green. Nothing too exciting there. And we have just a classic chevron. I don't even remember making this, but it's Chinese staircase, and I did a finished loop on it. I don't know why, but that's the thing I did, so there you have it. And I have a candy stripe bracelet here. This is from a previous wrap up as well. So is this little like vintagey sort of flower bracelet. And now I'm going to swipe these aside and make room for the rest here. This is my diagonal rectangles bracelet. I really like the colors in this. It's pale yellow, pale green, a darker green, 2 tones of blue, surrounded by a darker blue. And I don't know, I really like how this turned out, and the pattern was quite easy, so I might do this in more colors at some point. And what do we have here? We have a bordered chevron. nothing super exciting there. This one, I love this bracelet actually. I love the colors that I chose. It has a finished loop, it has a buckle end on it, and triangle starts and ends, sorry. And I just like how it turned out. It's got blue, yellow, multiple tones of blue, yellow, white, and red in it, and I just think it turned out really, really nice. I really like it. And we got this one kind of inspired by apples. It's a similar pattern to the blue and orange one, but somehow I fudged the pattern up a little bit because this inner part is supposed to change colors with each one, and it doesn't until like way down here. So I don't know what I did. It still looks cute, but it's not the exact pattern. What else we got here? This one was colors from the pattern, and it was a challenge bracelet once upon a time on Bracelet Book. And again, finished loop, triangle starts, triangle ends, and a buckle closure. Not really a huge fan of the colors. It's this color here that gets me. Whenever I get that in a pack, I don't know what to do with it. I usually end up using it as base strings in an alpha. What do we got? Another bordered segmented chevron with just tones of blue and yellow in there. I think that looks good. This is an older segmented bordered chevron, and you can see at some point something had bleached part of the string. Or I don't want to say bleached, but it just wasn't dyed properly or something. So there's like some of these sections in this that are a little bit lighter, which I think is really weird. But I do like the color selection. It's very fall, autumnal. I do enjoy that. We have another chevron bracelet. It's dark blue, yellow, light green, orange, and beige. And I do like how it turned out too. It's kind of, I don't know, all the colors are a little bit muted, so I think it's kind of chill, and I don't know. I liked them. Okay, we're almost through the normal bracelets. This one I've posted on Instagram if you follow me there. It's just this quick and easy little dots pattern. And I do like how it turned out. And I actually like the back on this too. It looks kind of funky. And this is an older bracelet as well. I think, again, I just pulled from the pattern. This one I didn't do triangle starts or ends on, but I did do finished loop and a buckle. And we have a classic candy stripe with kind of two different salmon-y tones, a gray and a light purple. And this is the last normal bracelet in my collection right now, and it is just a bordered chevron with purples, pinks, and blues with a nice crisp white border. Okay, the normal bracelets are done. Let's look at alphas. And alphas, I give away a lot of alphas because everyone likes alphas. And when I had stopped selling before, I just had a bunch of bracelets on hand. I gave them all to my boyfriend's younger sister because she loved them. And when I say I gave a bunch, I gave her like 15 bracelets. So like a bunch. So this is what I have left from that. And a lot of them are newer. You guys have seen them. So sorry, this won't be super exciting. I did this Arrow Alpha. It's really nice and easy if you're looking for a alpha to just start with and practice with. This is definitely one I would recommend because it's two-tone. The pink doesn't come right out to the edge, and it's very, very simple. It does have a finished loop on it, and it does have a buckle end. Now, the only reason I don't wear this, because I thought it would be really cool and like minimalist, is my wrist is quite small. So when I put this on my wrist, it literally just looks like a stripe across my wrist. So I don't wear this one, but it is a cute and simple pattern if you're starting alphas. So that is one I would recommend. And this one you guys will recognize. I did my two-tone alpha tutorial on this. This is great for Halloween if you're getting into Halloween mode already. Just the little skeleton guys, they're super cute. And again, this has a finished loop on it, and I did buckle ends on it. And the back just looks like this. And this is a great one if you're starting into pictures on your alphas as well. It's a little bit wider, but again, the white for your picture doesn't ever come right out to the edge, which makes it a lot easier when you're just learning alphas. Next, this one I've used as examples in a couple videos, so you guys may recognize it. And this one had a lot of color changes in it, as you could see, and the back of it is a lot of loops. So it did do a finished loop on it. I don't really know why, and then I just braided the end. What I like about this bracelet is that it looks really, really cool, and I like the colors I picked. What I don't like about this bracelet is that it's actually super, super short, and if I had really paid attention to the dimensions on it, I might have noticed that, but like it barely covers the top of my wrist, and my wrist is small. So if I did recognize that, I might have extended this portion in here and added a few more like dots and just extended that to make it a bit longer. I may make this again in the future and do that, but I do like how it looks. I just probably won't sell it. It'll probably just stay in my collection. I might cut the braids off it and just make it tassels and use it as like a bookmark though. So, yep, there is that one. What else do we have here? You guys will recognize this from a wrap up, and it's just these like Hawaiian flowers on neon green. It does have 2 finished loops at the top, and I did just do a tutorial on starting bracelets with double loops. So if you guys want to check that out, I will link it in the cards. And I just did braided ties on the end of this. So it looks like this. That actually seems to like focus on it better up there than down here. Interesting. So yeah, you guys can see it's like little aloha flowers. And it's super bright. Like you could go jogging with that and cars would see you at night, okay? You guys may recognize this one. I made this in a tutorial, just the little Daisy Alpha tutorial I made, and I just threw happy in the middle. It's the first time experimenting with color changing string in a long time. Not sure how I feel about it, but it exists, I guess. And there's the back of it. And you guys have seen this one as well. It's my little orca buddies. And they've got a single start loop with a triangle beginning and a triangle end. And I did do a finished tie on it, just because, as you can see, I used like those orangey brown colors that I was telling you guys about earlier in that other bracelet. I use them as base strings a lot. So there's my little orca friends, and that's what the back of the bracelet looks like. And I don't think you guys have seen this one yet. I have used it for a video on washing bracelets. So it's just little roses. That's the back of it. Triangle start and ends, and then I just did ties on either end of this. And I think it's pretty cute. Again, I might have made it a bit longer because it is relatively short. It just comes around the sides of my wrist. And like I said, my wrist is fairly small, so there you have it. And then you all have seen this one at this point. This is my beloved ship bookmark. I love this. It's my favorite thing I've ever made. I will never throw it out. That's the back of it. And I am in love with this. I think it looks so pretty. I remember when I was making this, I went to the store and specifically picked out skeins like for this. Like I was like, I'm making this pattern. I need the perfect colors for it. And I think it turned out really, really, really well. So that is all the alphas currently in my collection. You guys will notice the little shark buddies aren't here anymore because I sold them. So don't have them anymore. Boop. If you want to see some of the other alphas I've made though, you can check out my bracelet book account because I do have pictures of a lot of them there. So yeah, if you want to see the other alphas I've made, you can scope out there, and there are some there. And the last section of this is going to be quick and easy, and it is Kumihimos. So this is the Kumihimo. It's kind of a snowflakey pattern that I did for the tutorial on how to fold a Kumihimo bracelet. And if you're wondering what Kumihimo is, as you can see, it's like a rounded folded bracelet, so it's not knotted, and it kind of comes out like a rope basically. And it's got 2 tones of blue and white. And I think it's really pretty. And then I did this one, which I really, really like, and I used the colors right out of the pattern on this one. And it's just little red flowers with yellow centers and little bright green leaves, kind of latticed around the black. And I think it looks really, really pretty. And then this one, you guys have seen all these in a wrap up. And as I said in that wrap up, and I still think the same thing, the colors in this looked really cute next to each other on a bobbin. And I don't know if it's the patterns or if it's the colors, but it just looks, something's fallen flat for me here. So it's like neon pink, white, a dark purple, and a turquoise. And they looked really cute next to each other on the bobbins, but then once in the pattern, not so much. So anyways, that concludes my current bracelet collection. That's it. It's not super exciting. That's why I put it off for so long, but eventually I'll do these every once in a while so you guys can see how it's all grown. But for now, that's all there is in there. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and lived up to your expectations. But until next time, I will see you guys then. Bye.